Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. I'm Mike. Tonight I've got a special video for all of you fans of the G.I. Joe Classified series. We're going to be talking about Firefly and customizing the action figure. So if you haven't watched my video review of the actual figure, go back and watch the video before this and then watch this one. If you want my thoughts and opinion on the figure and to see, all the features that you normally see in a toy review. This video, we're going to talk about customizing the action figure, changing his appearance, why you would want to do that, how you would go about doing that. So prior to ordering these figures in the middle of July from Target, I had been looking at this action figure online for several weeks at least. And I saw things I liked, I saw things I didn't like. First and foremost, this is a really great action figure. It's one of the best figures in the G.I. Joe Classified series. It's certainly a very awesome representation of Firefly and the original iteration of the character in both the comics and other iterations. But it's got a more modern take to it, and that's really cool. The one thing I don't like about this figure is this extremely bulky plate carrier. This is more of a bomb disposal vest that you would see explosive ordnance disposal units wearing. As a matter of fact, if it had another shoulder guard on this side, that's exactly what it would be. So it's just really, really large. Okay, you guys can see that. And this is how the figure looks out of the box in case you don't have the figure yet. This is my customized figure. So what you see is this large shoulder guard that's armored on his right shoulder. You see a pelvic guard here, an extra belt here. He's got 4 mag pouches for an M4 or AK strapped to the front of it. He's got a large throat protector here and neck protector from explosive debris. If you turn the vest around to the side, you can see how thick it is right in this area, right in front of the arm, okay? So if I come around here, and let me just stretch his arm out so you guys can see this, and you can see the butterfly joint right here. So the arm has a complete range of motion to the back, okay? But if you try to go forward, it's stopped by all this excess plastic material. Okay, you guys see that? You see how far down the vest extends? Then on the back, you can see how far down it goes. Then it's got like this armored butt flap back here. And the figure, of course, has the torso hinge, which you can't use with this, and the waist swivel. So you've got 3 different features on this action figure that are inhibited because of this large vest that he's wearing. So I wanted to alter it. I wanted to change it to make it look more like a traditional plate carrier that a special operations team member would be wearing. So how did I go about that? The first thing that I did is I removed the head sculpt so that I wouldn't damage it at all, okay? The second thing that I did was I used my X-Acto and cut here and here and remove this armored shoulder guard. And I saved that because I used it for something else later on, okay? Then I used my X-Acto and began to cut just below the mag pouches and remove all that excess material. Okay, you guys see that? You see how high the cut is on this plate carrier? That's what it would really look like. Okay. The next thing that I did was I cut away this neck guard all the way around, and I trimmed this as much as I could with an X-Acto, because this is really soft plastic like rubber material, and it's not quite even, but it works for me. It's not going to be perfect, okay? So I cut all that away, and then I used apple barrel pavement and I dry brushed the entire figure. I repainted the knee pads in pavement gray. You guys see that? I also painted his belt. You guys can see his belt here. You can't see it under here because of this one, but I repainted that. Okay. I also painted in the stretch panels on his combat pants, solid gray. Okay, and I dry brushed some on the mag pouches to bring out the details and the texture on it, and the plate carrier as well as on the back. And just to make him, give him an overall worn appearance. Okay, but that's not all that I did. You'll notice on both of these figures, let me get them in a position where you can see this. I cut away a lot of material on the inside of the plate carrier. You see the difference, okay? And I trimmed the side of the back panels. So you can see this material here and here, I cut it away here and here. So that's gone, okay? And you can see where I trimmed the throat armor off the back, and that's gone from there. So now, I'm going to put this one over to the side. He has a full range of motion with that butterfly joint. It can go all the way forward, okay? His arm can extend all the way down. I've cut the plate carrier down here, low where it should be, okay? I've trimmed up here around the edges and around the back. And I know it looks a little rough, you know, because again, I was using an X-Acto and not a rotary tool. But it's 100% better than having him wear this large, bulky, unrealistic vest. Now, I told you I saved the shoulder armor. So what I did was I used my X-Acto to cut this up into that little square, and then I cut it down the center to make it extremely thin, and I glued it on the front of his plate carrier on the sternum section here. And with most special operations units and special missions units, they'll wear a national flag patch here, whether it's US, UK, whoever. So I put it there as a Cobra symbol to show, you know, his affiliation. I thought it looked really cool there. Just something to give him some character and make him unique, because like the Cobra infantry troopers, they have a Cobra symbol on the front of their plate carrier. So those are the changes that I made to the figure. Now, moving forward, there's two other things that I want to do to this action figure. The first, I want to give him a sidearm with a thigh holster. You know, that's one thing I don't like about the classified series. I think that each and every action figure they make should have a thigh holster and a sidearm. You know, like Duke, he has that. Beachhead, he has that. And I wound up taking a Cobra Trooper from Target and cutting one of his holsters off the back of his plate carrier and using that to put on my custom CoverGirl action figure. I've got in the box right there. And you can see how I've altered Lady J's belt. I cut the pouch off, glued the holster on there, glued the pouch on the back of the belt, repainted all of it. That looks really cool. And that's my intention for Firefly. I don't know if I'm going to use the same technique or if I'm just going to order another Duke action figure and take the thigh holster off of Duke and put it on Firefly. That would be the easiest solution. You know, the other way to do that, I would have to find a figure with a belt, like a gun belt, that would fit his waist and attach the holster to that. The last thing I plan to do is to give him a long gun. The weapon that Firefly includes in the box right here is nothing more than a Nerf gun. And it has a peg on it because it attaches to a port on the lower section of this patrol pack. So there's no holster for this thing. And you know, that's just sort of unrealistic. The problem with giving him a rifle is the fact that this plate carrier is extremely bulky, even cut down like this. And that's why in the military you have rifles with collapsible stocks. You know, you run the stock in as much as you need to so that you can maintain proper placement of the stock in where your pocket of your shoulder would be. You get a solid cheek weld and you can maneuver the weapon in confined spaces. With something like this on, that's impossible. At best, he could use a sidearm. Even with the vest cut down like this, I can't give him a rifle with a fixed stock. You know, something like an M16, A2, or an AK-47, a FAL. You know, he can't use any of those things because you can't put him in a realistic shooting position with a rifle with a fixed stock. It's just not going to work. So he's got to have a gun with a collapsible stock, whether it's an M4 or a submachine gun or whatever it might be. You know, and you know, modern plate carriers, the new generation, they don't even have solid material on them here. They have split webbing, which reduces the profile as cut at a sharper angle around your torso to allow the weapon to be placed directly on the pocket of your shoulder, just as if you weren't wearing the plate carrier at all. Extremely lightweight and, you know, breathable, and just a whole lot easier to use. It's a minimalist design. But the way that I've got him cut now, I mean, that plate carrier works. You know, that's still 100% better than this design here. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and show you guys what I've done to the figure, why I made the changes to it. So if you decide you want to do the same thing, you can. You know, nothing difficult to do, just taking your time with an X-Acto and cutting away the material to shape it the way that you want to shape it. And you know, the mag pouches here are molded onto the front of the plate carrier, and you can see that, you know, they're on a panel. They hang below where the plate carrier would be. That's realistic. You see that in real life. They're attached to the flap on the front of the plate carrier, where you have a pocket for your chicken plate. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to email me directly at darkhorizoncreations@gmail.com. Have a good one.